Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 7 of Short, Fat, and Balding, a podcast by Armchair Quarterbacks for Armchair Quarterbacks. I am Travis, one of 3 hosts who will navigate you through sports debate for the next couple of hours. We also have Nico.
What are you, a fucking lumberjack?
And James.
No, this is Patrick.
Today, we will talk a new top 25 in college football, NFL Week 2, and then we will make our picks for NFL Week 3, all that, and obviously a whole lot more on this week's Short, Fat, and Balding. Okay, thank you for listening to that new transition, which is brought to you by our friends here in Watertown, a band by the name of Landslide. If you want to check them out, they are on Spotify, iTunes, everything that you can listen to music. They're there.
Do we know somebody in Landslide?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
I was going to say you do, Nico, right?
Yeah, I know Pete and Logan.
Yeah, and I know Adam. So we basically know the whole band between the two of us.
Yep.
Do you know somebody, James?
Wasn't Pete
I'm going to go on a
friends
limb and
with
say,
Shane?
What's that?
Wasn't Pete friends with Shane? I remember meeting Pete
Yeah,
officially.
Pete's friends. Pete's friends with Shane. Yes.
who the fuck's
Okay.
Pete?
Pete Bingle.
No, I don't know him.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's Landslide. You guys check them out. They're really good. They just opened for Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. They're doing big things. Our segment number 1 today, because James, I know, has been chomping at the bit since Sunday's revelation. The new top 25 for college football, our AP rankings for week 4, are as follows. I'm just going to do the top 10. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Michigan. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Florida State. 5, USC. 6, Ohio State. 7, Penn State. 8, Washington. 9, Notre Dame. 10, Oregon. The only schools that moved were Oregon, that moved up from 13 to 10. Florida State moved down 1 to 4, and Texas moved up 1 to 3. So the floor is yours, James.
Okay, so you're telling me, Georgia was losing at halftime to a South Carolina team that got fucking ransacked by North Carolina. Okay, that Georgia team still sits at number 1. It's bullshit. There's no fucking way any of this makes any sense. Fucking Florida State almost lost to fucking Boston College, right?
Yes.
Ohio State won by 20, and they dropped out of the top 4. Won by 20 against an unranked team. Fine, whatever.
They dropped out of the top 4 2 weeks
Week
ago.
1. Yeah, week 1. They won by 20 against an unranked school. Georgia barely fucking beat South Carolina. Let's be honest, that game was a lot closer, and they were losing at fucking halftime.
Yeah.
You got fucking Florida State, who wins by 3 against Boston College, and still stays in the top 4. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Do these people watch football, or they just look at the scores? Do they look at the headlines? Oh, Georgia dominates second half. They put up 21 fucking points. And guess what? South Carolina went for it on their own, fucking 20? They had a 40-yard drive. Congratulations. They had 2 drives. They averaged 60 yards a drive. You've got to be fucking kidding me. There is no way you can sit here and tell me Georgia's the number 1 college in this nation. No way. And even if you drop them to 4, okay, fine. You drop Florida State out, whatever. And I'm not saying Ohio State deserves to be in the top 4, even though, let's be honest, if they win this weekend, they do.
They're not.
You can't tell me. Shut up, pussy. You can't tell me right now that Georgia is the number 1 school in the nation. They almost lost to an unranked fucking college. There's 0 sense. By that fucking logic, North Carolina should be number 1 because they fucking beat the shit out of South Carolina. It makes no fucking sense. Whoever is doing these polls needs to start either 1, watching football, or 2, just give it up. Give it up. I don't care that you run a fucking newspaper in Des Moines. No one gives a shit.
Des Moines.
Until you can wrap your fucking head around the fact that college football, you can't just give the number 1 spot to a team that barely beat a fucking unranked team. They were losing at half. I checked out I bought out of my bets because I put money on Alabama and fucking Georgia losing like a fucking idiot. And guess what? It netted me $50. There's no reason Georgia is still number one. No reason. There's no semblance of any fucking logic that makes any goddamn sense. The whole AP poll is fucking stupid. It needs to be fucking done away with. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
I'm going
normal voice.
When you said Des Moines, I almost had to leave my room.
I was like, what the fuck does Iowa have to do with it?
I was like, this dude's making fun of the Des Moines Register, one of the pinnacles of our nation. But anyways, I'm going to make a callback to last week's episode. If you haven't listened to it yet, give it a listen. We talk about the very similar topic, and one of the things that we discussed in that was the fact that the AP is, for all intents and purposes, irrelevant, because once the college football playoff rankings come out, they are what is set in stone. So
here's the thing, but it is relevant, because here's the thing. Okay, so say, I don't know who Georgia plays. Say they play a school who's UAB, obviously,
which is
okay, but I'm not talking this week. They're gonna, a school can beat Georgia and take down the number one, and they raise, and it's this big thing. It's all over the news. It affects the fucking rankings. Guess what? Georgia's not the number one team in the fucking nation. You put up, I will take Penn State, Ohio State, USC, Florida State, no. Michigan, Texas. I bet you they all beat fucking Georgia as it stands today. And all beats. But here's the thing. But when you look at strength of schedule, they go based on, when they go to the college playoffs, they say, all right, who have you played? Who have you beat?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Having, obviously, Georgia at number one, who doesn't deserve it, you know, I don't watch every single college football game. I'll be honest. I check scores. I look at stats and shit. But you could have a fucking school that's in the top 10 that doesn't fucking deserve it.
Right.
So, okay, so now we're talking, you got to pick 4 to go to the playoff. You have 4 that go to this playoff, okay? Say, for all intents and purposes, Notre Dame, right? What are they, 10?
They are 9.
9. Okay, Ohio State beats them this week, right?
Yep.
So now Ohio State's got a top 10 win on their record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if Notre Dame isn't deserving of that top 10 spot, but it boosts Ohio State.
Right.
So these do matter to an extent, because when they go to the college football playoff, they look at who have you played, where were they ranked when you beat them, where are they ranked now.
Right.
The ranking system is just garbage.
Yeah,
there has to be a better way to do this, because you can't tell me right now, as it stands, that Georgia is number one. Ohio State beat an unranked team by 20, and they dropped 2 spots.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense, and they've come up since then.
Right.
Because they went back down again. So the logic doesn't make any fucking sense. Because you're going to sit here and tell me that Ohio State beats a ranked team by 20, they drop out of the top 4, but Florida State can eke out a fucking 3-point win against Boston College, and all of a sudden they're still number 4?
Right.
They drop 1 spot, but they're still in the top 4.
Right. And then
if they were at 4, would they go to 5? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, and it's all the more damning. I mean, this is where it gets fucking unhinged, in my opinion. You have, out of the 63 votes, 57 of them have Georgia at number 1, which means as far as I'm concerned, nobody even took that game into consideration. They just were like, did Georgia win? Yes, okay, number 1. They didn't evaluate the performance. They evaluated whether or not they had a win or loss next to their name. And then, just to show how fucking unhinged these voters are, Florida State got a vote for the number 1 team in the country after barely getting by Boston College. Texas got 3 votes after struggling against Wyoming for 3 quarters. Like, that's the other thing is like these, they don't take into account, as much as I think they should, the eye test. Like, if you're a top 10 FBS school and you play these unranked, what is it, group of 5? Yeah, group of 5 conference schools. You shouldn't. No, there's Power 5 and there's Group of 5. Group of 5 is like Mountain West, it'll like like that kind of shit.
Okay, gotcha.
But you play those schools, and then you should the perceived notion should be domination. It shouldn't be they beat them. Like Texas at home against Wyoming should be up 21-0 minimum at the half. They should be up 3 scores, and if they're not, then it's way too close of a game. And the fact that it was 10 to like 10 or whatever the fuck it was, 14, it was tied in the third quarter with like a couple minutes left in the third quarter. Then they go into the fourth quarter, put up 2 scores, end up winning like 31 to whatever. But it's the point that doesn't get taken into account. Whereas schools like Ohio State, Michigan, USC go into those FC and those Group of 5 games, dominate from first snap to end snap, and then they get the almost the inverse argument, like, oh well, then they played at a Group of 5 school, so they beat a Group of 5 school, and then Georgia beats a Group of 5 school. What's the difference? And it's like, the difference is that they did what power schools should do, which is go in and make them look like a JV squad. When you struggle against that, it shows weakness, which means you should drop down the pole, and it just never seems to. Performance on the field, as long as it's a win, never seems to equate to drops in the top 5 for SEC schools, especially for Alabama and Georgia. Once they're placed at number 1, they almost never get knocked off unless something traumatic happens.
Here's the thing. So Ohio State went on the road and beat 20. Okay, I understand Indiana's not the greatest football school.
Right.
It is what it is. I understand that. Georgia was at home.
Yeah.
Was losing at the half. You can't justify Georgia being number 1. You just can't. There's no justification in my mind. You can say, okay, well, they're number 1 now. Okay, but you've had no problem knocking teams off the top 4 for being
less.
Close in games when they shouldn't have.
Right.
And I mean, if we're going to look at it, Ohio State put up, 63 points this week against Western Kentucky? That's what they're supposed to do.
Right. That's
it
what
was
you should
40 something. It was 40-10 at the half.
Right.
Shut it down. So Ohio State moves up 1. Actually, they didn't move this week. They didn't move after putting on a dominating performance like that. But yet you still have Florida State, who, and I'm not saying, like, actually, I am saying it. Ohio State deserves in the top 4. Plain and simple. We'll find out this week. But I guarantee you, if they beat Notre Dame, and as long as the top 4 win, there's no movement.
Right. And given that
there's no movement,
if teams were treated the way that Georgia has been treated by what we have seen through 3 weeks, your argument is completely valid. At the end of the day, Ohio State started in the top 4, and they are 3-0. So they should not have been moved out of the top 4 because Georgia started as number 1. They are 3-0 despite lackluster performances, and they have not moved. So what makes Ohio State different?
And you want to know what it is?
They're not in the SEC
the conference under Georgia.
Right.
The SEC is dead. Who do you have? Okay, you have Bama. What has Bama done the last 2 years?
10, they're right now in the top 10. You have one SEC school.
Okay, but they treat the SEC like it's gold.
Right. And they have
SEC is not gold anymore.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, the new SEC is the Big Ten.
Yes.
Straight up. I mean, look at, you've got 3 in the top 10. I don't know how many overall in the top 25.
They have 5 schools in the top 25.
Okay, so you have 5 schools in the top 25. So at the end of the day, the Big Ten is now the conference to play in. This is where you're going to get the most competition.
Right. The school, actually, funny enough, the conference with the most people in the top 25 is the Pac-12, which doesn't exist anymore.
Well, Pac-12 might as well be dead because it is dead. There's 2 teams next year in it?
Yeah, Oregon State and Washington State. But when you take into account that kind of stuff as well, as of right now, if we were to assume the fact that the schools that are going to the Big Ten next year are the Big Ten now, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Big Ten schools in the top 25.
Is the Big Ten ever going to get that same bias, though, that the SEC gets? Absolutely not. The SEC is not what it used to be. But we look at it, and week after week, we see Georgia at number 1. They don't deserve it. After this week, they don't deserve it. And I understand you're going to have down games. You're going to have bad games. It is what it is.
Right.
But for you to almost lose to an unranked school and still retain number 1, right. No way that makes any sense. And Florida State should be knocked down a peg too.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you know what else is going to happen this week, and it's going to piss me off? Alabama's 13 right now. They're hosting Ole Miss. They're going to get beat by Ole Miss, and they're not going to get knocked out of the top 25 at 2-2.
Yeah, 0% chance.
And that's ridiculous. At 2-2.
Can we
0%
check
chance.
the college football power rankings now while we're
Yeah.
No.
We can't.
Unless you want to. Unless I might actually have the big one. I'm sorry, but you just can't justify it at all. Like, what does Georgia have to do to get removed from the number one spot? Do they actually have to lose to an unranked team? Like, is that what it's going to take?
Oh, Ohio State's
they have Ohio State at 1 now.
That's cool. They're number 6.
They have Oklahoma at number 2, Georgia at number 3, Alabama.
At least Alabama's
4.
not 1.
Georgia at 3. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And Syracuse
Such
is
an
what?
SEC
16.
bias, dude.
Syracuse went up 4, and they're still not ranked.
Yeah, and then
Where's Colorado? Colorado was 58 last week.
I just say I watched the full clip of what Coach Prime did when he went
64
and talked to those kids.
Yeah.
And when he said, hit the transfer portal, do what you got to do, immediately I fell in love with Colorado football.
Really?
That's all well and good. I love what Deion Sanders is doing in Colorado. How are they ranked in the top 25 if they are 64th in the nation for power rankings?
Because the power rankings don't matter.
None of this means shit.
Yeah,
none of these rankings mean it's dog water at best. None of it makes sense. And we've proven logistically none of anything they do makes any sense. You just can't justify it. There's no way. It blows my mind and pisses me off so much that the ignorance that goes into it. If your job is to be part of this AP poll, hey, guess what? I'm looking at every game. I'm looking at who South Carolina played before. So you have North Carolina ranked at what, 21 now? Is that where they're at?
No. North Carolina, yeah. Oh no, they're 17.
17. So you have North Carolina ranked at 17. They mollywop a school. Georgia comes in and almost loses to them. Not to mention at home.
Yep.
I believe Florida State was at home too. You can't justify them being number 1 and number 4.
Right.
Especially if you treat Ohio State the way you did.
Mm-hmm.
How do you justify that?
Right.
You can't. And I understand right now it means nothing, but
it could.
Fact of the matter is there's consequences to it.
And it could weigh heavy come November when those first rankings come out and you're sitting there and they say, we're going to move USC in because they beat X, X, and X, and that 3 of those schools had no business being ranked that high to begin with. It's a lot like, so I accredited a lot to like Syracuse last year. Syracuse being ranked the way they were. I mean, Nico can tell you because he listened to me bitch every Saturday. Syracuse played shit football, and they were ranked in the top 15. I was like, this is ridiculous. I think they got to the top 10.
Was that last year or the year before?
That was last year when they started 6-0.
Oh.
And I was like, they played terrible football. They're 6-0 because they're lucky. And then they went into the buzzsaw that was Clemson, got absolutely face fucked, and then dropped off the face of the earth. And that's the kind of shit. But they're going to look, and if you beat Syracuse when they were ranked, all of a sudden they're better than the Syracuse at the end of the season at 6-6. And it just makes no sense.
Exactly. There's consequences to it. And I understand, it doesn't...
Syracuse has a tough couple games coming up with Army and then Clemson.
Well, Army's not fucking tough.
Well,
when you're
Syracuse, I don't know who they play after Clemson.
If you can't beat
Syracuse could play Watertown High and it'd be a nail biter. Here's the thing.
They just walked all over Purdue.
Yeah, they just beat Purdue 35-20, dude. Shut up.
Ooh, Watertown High?
No, Syracuse.
Oh, congratulations, fucking Purdue.
Before you get started, I just want to read this to you because I think it's just going to get you even more fired up. The Football Power Index is a measure of team strength that is meant to be the best predictor of a team's performance going forward for the rest of the season.
So it's just a projection?
It's a joke.
Yeah.
No. Here's
it's based on 20,000 simulations.
Knock knock. Who's there? Nobody gives a fuck.
So these guys basically play Madden and then post the rankings.
Oh, that's cool. I beat the Browns 36-0 the other day with the Bengals on Madden. Guess what? Didn't happen in real life. It doesn't mean shit. I think I was on
All Pro.
I think I was on All Madden.
Bullshit.
No, it's called.
There's no way you play on All Madden.
Yeah, no. There's no
way you play on All Madden. You probably play on All Pro, which is like the difficulty above normal.
You're right.
Probably that might be what it was. No, Either way, okay? Here's the thing. There's consequences to this shit. And I understand that the people that are doing this are just sports journalists, but it's your job to know this shit. Like, I'm sure you get a fucking stipend for doing it. Your fucking job. It's not that hard. Do your fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a fucking, it's sad. It's a fucking joke, honestly.
Florida State was on the road, by the way.
Oh, cool. Still won by 3.
2.
Yeah, 2-8.
Ohio State went on the road, won by 20, and they dropped 2 spots out of the
Florida State
top
only
4.
won by 2, which means they were
Like,
oh no, they were up
They
big,
were up.
and then they gave up
Yeah.
13 points in the fourth quarter. Which, yeah,
They shouldn't have allowed.
no.
still.
If you're up 31-16 in the fourth quarter, like,
Yeah, and then just
it
like I
should
said,
not be 31.
Texas and Wyoming were tied at 10 in the third quarter, and then Texas just loosed the fucking arrows.
See,
and Ohio
but
State
that's the
wins by
thing.
fucking 53. And isn't never mind. I was thinking Washington State. That looked like the same logo there for a second. I couldn't read that.
But here's the thing. Ohio State won by, what, 53 points, I think we said? They were up
Yeah.
42-10 at the half. They put in backups.
Mm-hmm.
They should have jumped up. Minimum, should have jumped up. Should have dropped to 4. Florida State should have dropped out, and it should have been USC State either 4 and 5, either one. But it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And these things have consequences. And it's your job to know that. If you're getting paid willingly participating in this, you need to actually do your fucking research.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes zero fucking sense. And the thing that pissed me off is it has consequences in the end. What do these writers give a shit about? Don't. Clearly, they don't give a fuck. 57 of them still put Georgia at number 1, which tells me, 1, either they don't watch football, or 2, they just look at wins and say, oh, this team won, we got to keep them there. But even by that standard, that doesn't make any sense because Ohio State dropped 2 after winning by 20 on the road.
Right. And that's the
These
biggest...
things have consequences to it.
That's the biggest issue.
But I was talking to somebody about this earlier, and I actually let off a lot of steam about it earlier, which, if you can tell, what was left over was saved from Sunday when Travis got a phone call. I see in the rankings. If you finish in the top 5...
Monday.
They come out Sunday
afternoon.
Oh.
Very confident in that, and I appreciate that, but you're wrong.
I thought they came out Monday. That's when I get the notification.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We got the notification Sunday at like 1 o'clock.
Because Travis got a phone call, a very aggressive phone call. If you finish in the top 5, you should be forced to play the top 4 the other 4 schools every year.
You mean like how the NFL does the rotation? Like if you the higher you finish,
win
the
your
harder
division,
your schedule is.
You win your division, you play the other division winners in
right?
your conference.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be. Because if you by looking at it, Georgia isn't the same Georgia team that it is last year. I mean, for fuck's sake, they lost Grandpa quarterback. You need to prove you have to prove that you're still the number 1 team in the school or nation.
Listen, Stetson AARP Bennett is a fucking national treasure, okay?
He's a national treasure, and I appreciate him working for a mailman for 30 years to pay for college while you went to Georgia. But that's not the point. I get it. But he's gone.
Correct.
It's not the same team. And you have to look at other things that are going on. Ohio State, going into the first 2 games of the year, said, we haven't decided on a starter. We're going to swap back and forth. McCord, I think his first name's Kyle. McCord got primary starts, but he wasn't named the starter. Coming into this week, he was named the starter.
Mm-hmm.
So that offense is going to revolve around him.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm pretty sure if you go back 2 episodes, I said, and I quote, they're going to lose 4 or 5 games this year if they keep playing the way they were playing.
You did.
And they name a starter and go off. Shows me what they can do. You have to take that into effect. I mean, when you look at these teams, you're ranking them based on their team.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know week 1 and week 2, yeah, it's going to hurt. But when they go put up fucking 42 points and a half, I'm sorry, it tells me, okay, and I get it. is what, Western Kentucky.
Yes.
I understand that 100%. But you have 2 teams in the top 4 that lost or almost lost close games.
Yeah.
There's no excuse why they're still there in Ohio State sitting at 6.
And they almost lost close games to a group of 5 schools. So it's not even like you can say, oh, well, it's a conference game. Like, it wasn't even that.
Yeah. Like, Ohio State lost to, or beat Indiana by 20, and then Youngstown State by 28.
Yeah.
Like, they're closer than they should have been, but they're still double digit. They're over 20-point wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then sit here and watch Georgia win by,
which is where you should be.
Watch Georgia win by 10 and Florida State win by 3.
2.
And we're still, or win by 2, and we're still behind them.
Is Wake Forest
doesn't make any sense.
3-0 school.
Well, good for Wake Forest.
Yeah, but they're 3-0, and they're giving 4 against Georgia Tech, who's 1-2. So, like, are they bad?
I don't know. What's their schedule been like?
I don't know. I'm too lazy to go look back and look at that.
Just click on their fucking.
Beat Vanderbilt and Elon and Old Dominion.
Elon?
Yeah, I don't know what Elon is. But Vanderbilt's an SEC school.
Is that why Syracuse isn't ranked? Is because they don't have any conference wins?
I don't think so. That shouldn't be the case. I mean, it could be.
It could be. It depends on who they're playing.
Florida jumped into the top 25 after beating Tennessee, and Iowa did after beating. But I think that was.
So you got to think if Syracuse wins
this week
against Clemson next week.
Oh yeah, they're playing Army this week. They're not going to.
They're playing Army
Clemson,
this week.
Clemson's unranked.
Clemson.
I know.
Right.
But it's still a division.
Right. I mean, I don't give a fuck if Syracuse gets ranked. They're still going to collapse at the end of the year like they always do.
They always do, yeah.
But this is like a telling point, in my opinion, is, Louisville, who is an unranked opponent against Boston College, is still favored by 14. Which means imagine what kind of favorite Florida State was, and their only punishment is they get moved to number 4.
Yeah.
Like, that's egregious.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
It makes no sense, and it has consequences, and that's
Florida
the part that pisses me off.
2 against whoever they're playing this week, too.
They're playing, I think they're playing somebody. They're playing Clemson. Yeah. So, like, that's a close matchup. Clemson. So Clemson wins that game. How far does Florida State drop? And Clemson's back in the top 25, obviously, right?
Clemson would move into
Florida State drops to 10,
and Florida State drops to 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is how I would see it.
Clemson's
then who are you putting in their place? Who's
probably USC? I'm gonna be honest with you, James. They're probably no. It depends because USC, Colorado. Granted, I don't think they're gonna win that game, but if that's a tight game, I think Ohio State surpasses USC. Whereas if USC goes in and blows the doors off of Colorado, they're getting put in the top 4. Yeah, absolutely.
But also Colorado is without Travis Hunter.
Right, Colorado is without.
But Ohio State also plays. And Ohio State's also playing Notre Dame, who's at number 9.
Oh, you're right.
So there's a top 10 win. But here's my point: it won't happen. It won't happen though, because what'll happen, even if say Ohio State wins and USC plays it close,
yep,
it doesn't fucking matter because USC is going to go into that spot.
I don't know why we're talking about this. Ohio State's not going to win anyway.
You done?
I'd say you're probably right.
You done?
I agree with Nico. I don't necessarily think Ohio State's going to win that game, but besides the point, I think you are correct. I think if both USC and
who's the favorite
Ohio State,
by how much?
I think if both USC and Ohio State win, right, then you're looking at USC being put in the top 4, despite the fact that Ohio State had a top 10 win, and that is unfortunate. Oh, I lied. USC's not playing. Oregon's playing Colorado this week. USC plays Colorado next week. So OSU is giving 3.
So say Colorado wins both games.
Say they beat Oregon and they beat USC.
You put them.
If they beat Oregon and they beat USC, they're going to get put in the top 4 because Deion Sanders is their coach.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And if they do that without Travis Hunter, they deserve to be in the top 4, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they win both those games, I wouldn't mind seeing them sitting at 3.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be a Buffs fan. That's what's going to happen. So I'm going to start buying Colorado gear. I can go Ralphie.
I love what Prime's done for that school. And I'm telling you what, right now, that school's going to do nothing but explode. You're going to have so many kids wanting to go there to play with Prime. No question in my mind.
I'm
Not to mention,
to see what the recruiting class is like.
They had stars all over their fucking sideline this week, which probably wasn't the best idea, and I don't think I'd recommend that going further. Maybe have them in the locker room. But that school is about to fucking explode if he can keep them in the top 25 all year. If they get a bowl game and win, they're going to shoot up.
So, like, there's some fucking naysayers, like people who talk shit about, like, storming the field. But when you're a program like Colorado and you have been fucking irrelevant for the better part of a quarter century, like, let the kids have their due. Those kids have never fucking had the right to celebrate a damn thing, and you're gonna poo-poo.
Not even those kids. That whole university, that whole area.
Right.
I mean,
like, Boulder's had nothing.
Rooting. Exactly my point. And now they're gonna get something.
Do it for
if
Peggy.
This continues the way it does.
Did you watch that?
Blows
segment?
my mind. Oh. Peggy.
So, is
that the old lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it for Peggy.
Do it for Peggy.
You know what? If they win a national championship, I will lose my fucking mind.
All right, let's slow it down.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but they have a chance. Look, if you look at their schedule, they have ranked school after ranked school. There's absolutely a chance if they can run the table. It's a big if.
But they're not deep enough. That's their biggest issue. Like Dion brought all those people over from the HBCU, and then he did a little bit of recruiting in the transfer portal and stuff like that. But even he admits they don't have the depth. Pretty much everybody was expecting them to explode in the scene next year, and they're kind of a year early because Shedeur Sanders is only a junior. I think Travis Hunter's only a junior too. Maybe he's a sophomore.
I'm not sure.
Either way, they have at least one more year with this core, and if they can get some depth, that's how they're gonna pan out. But the reason why they have so many fucking ranked opponents is because they're in the Pac-12, which is a fucking diabolical conference right now, apparently.
If they can run the table, they'll have 7 ranked wins.
Yeah.
Well, at that point,
they better be the number 1 school in the country.
4. Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna beat 7 top 25 teams, and on top of the fact that, the unranked teams are pretty bad. Arizona, Colorado State, and Stanford are pretty bad. But, you're gonna beat 7 top 25 teams. Like, if you're number 1, if they're 13-0 going into the college football playoff final, like, standings, they better be. they better fucking be.
No, it'll still be Georgia with their fucking whack schedule.
About him going for 400 yards a game, though.
What's that?
On average, he's averaging 400 yards a game.
Yeah, Shedeur. Yeah. Also, while we're on Colorado,
do you go
in the fact that
go pro after this year? Well, your stock's high.
I don't think he will.
No,
I don't think he will. I think he'll ride it out with his dad. Now, speaking of this game, I don't know if you guys stayed up late enough to watch it. But the fact that Travis Hunter is out with a lacerated liver due to the hit that happened to him,
the late hit,
is egregious. And maybe I'm just overreacting, and maybe I just want too much power in the hands of officials. But we have the targeting rules and things like that. Like, how is that not an immediate ejection? Like, that was intent to harm as far as I'm concerned, and should have been treated as such.
Speaking of...
Exactly. And not to mention, he was borderline taunting after he did it.
Yeah, he walked over him.
Great.
Yeah, he walked over him.
Speaking of
the ball was on the ground, and you fucking dropped a shoulder into this guy. Now, in all honesty, he didn't do a lot, but he didn't have to because Travis Hunter was sprinting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he hit him, but he was sprinting. Like, and I understand logic behind, oh, well, he was just trying to finish out the play, whatever. The ball was on the fucking ground. And he knew what he was doing. He was taking out their number one guy.
Yep.
He's not only a beast as a wide receiver, he's one hell of a cornerback.
Yeah, he was headhunting is exactly what he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. And how there wasn't even a targeting call. Are you fucking kidding me?
Speaking of the fucking targeting calls, before I forget this entirely, did you see the targeting call that Mississippi State got, or was it Mississippi State? Yeah, Mississippi State got called for against LSU.
No.
All right, so their quarterback does like a fucking 5-yard run or whatever.
Hold on, I'm gonna watch it.
Pull it up.
Oh, Trev's gonna pull it up.
Trev. So basically, the quarterback rolls out of the pocket, does like a 5-yard run, gets to the defender, jumps up in the air, and he gets
State, Alabama.
No,
that's
LSU.
10 months ago. All right, so he jumps up in the air and
gets
then
obliterated. Gets obliterated.
And
they called him for targeting.
I get.
No, they called him for targeting.
I get. Like, targeting rule is a great thing. Sometimes I feel like they go too far with it.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at, is it Ohio State Clemson? Where the hit on Elaw. It wasn't, like, it wasn't targeting. You're ejecting players.
I want you to watch this, James.
I've got the audio, so we can just play with it.
Yep.
All right.
As a runner, and he's always kind of skipping, and man, these are heat-seeking missiles.
He got
for Mississippi State on the back end, and that is just a textbook tackle from Sean Preston.
Oh,
he led with his helmet.
No, he didn't. If you look at, he was leading with his shoulder. He was
it kind of makes you wonder if the targeting is going to be looking at Preston's tackle, leading with the crown of the helmet.
He got called for targeting for that.
Like right.
One more time.
If you watch it from this angle, when he comes in, you can see he's trying to hit him with his shoulder pad. So watch from this point forward.
He even gets around him.
For Mississippi State
so
on
right
the
here,
back
you can see
end.
he's trying to hit. See how he throws his shoulder into him?
Preston.
And then he just jumps. So, like, that's brutal, man.
He got called for targeting and ejected for that.
I think that's too far.
That was textbook.
Chef's kiss tackle, naturally. NCAA has
player
a problem
safety.
with it. I like that.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
They, like, the targeting rule, if used effectively, is good because you're taking away. But how is that targeting? But what happened to Travis Hunter wasn't?
I guess because Travis Hunter. Yeah. I guess because Travis Hunter got hit with a shoulder pad as opposed to a helmet. But I mean, if it's just wild to me because I watched it. I mean, we all did. We all watched it a million times because it was fucking Colorado with Lil Wayne on the sidelines. You know, it was a crazy night. But not only did that safety hit him well after the ball had landed, because the ball landed in front of that fucking safety and he kept running.
Not to mention out of bounds.
Right. He lowered his shoulder to make sure to get under the shoulder pads and like the chest protector of Travis Hunter. So he hit him in an area where he knew was not protected at full strength when he was defenseless. Like, I just don't know how that's not such an egregious personal foul that it's warranted for ejection. Like, it doesn't make any, because
especially
you can not mean.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can not mean to target. Like, it just in the moment, you know, you just go to hit somebody and you get called for a targeting, you're kicked out of the game immediately. So like accidents can occur and you're kicked out of the game, but this was an intentional intent to harm and he doesn't get kicked out of the game. He just gets 15 yards. It makes no fucking sense.
No, and especially like you said, he was going for an unprotected area. Look what happened to Damar Hamlin last year.
Right. And like,
you do that just right, you could fucking kill him.
Yeah. And I mean he's out. He's not out with a typical injury. He's out with a fucking lacerated liver. So like, you still could have killed him. I mean, he's in a situation where one of his vital organs is cut because of the hit you delivered on him outside of the confines of the game. It's egregious. And in college, all they have is ejections. They can't throw fines. They can't levy fines. They can't do anything like that. So I don't understand. And quite frankly,
ejection, that should be an expulsion.
Right. And quite frankly, the referees didn't have control of the game to begin with. I mean, there was fights from the start. People throwing fucking extra elbows, late hits. I'm pretty sure Shedeur Sanders poked somebody's eye. Like, you know, I'm poo-pooing on the referees. That's what I'm doing.
And if you can't control the game, get the fuck out of there.
Right.
I mean, obviously, like that situation, he intended to hurt.
Yeah.
There was no question about it. He was looking to harm them.
Right.
It's not what football's about. That's what it's never been about.
No.
Don't get me wrong. There's targeting calls.
Well, I was gonna say. I mean, the Saints for a little bit. That was
just
that was the goal for the Saints for a little bit. You know,
well, winning definitely clearly wasn't it.
Well, I mean, they won a Super Bowl. They're in the Bounty Gate. So
they really?
Yeah.
Is that no? I thought that was after.
No, that was his second. That was
before Bounty Gate.
Or not, it was his second season as the defensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl.
That was
shit.
Oh, 06?
Oh, it was after Katrina.
To be honest, the Saints won that Super Bowl because of Hurricane Katrina.
All right, dude, don't be a conspiracy theorist.
If
that was the case. If that was the case, if sports were like that, the Yankees would have won the World Series in 2001. They did not, and so that will forever be my evidence against the.
Yeah, I was going to say we would have had a Yankees Mets World Series,
which we did the year before.
Right.
The 2000s was a Subway Series. They could have easily had a repeat and had the city of New York as a shining beacon of fucking resilience. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, like
instead, who won that year? The fucking Marlins.
Scripted like that. Saying that shit's scripted like that. Fucking no.
Oh no! That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Hurricane Katrina hit, and that was their like motivation. That was their thing to play for.
That and Drew Brees.
It's like that video of fucking Tom Brady. He's like, you think the NFL is scripted? You think I would have fucking agreed to lose twice to Peyton's little brother?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The NFL leaning into the whole scripted thing. The whole NFL leaning into the whole script thing is fucking hysterical.
It is funny. Did you see the whole situation with what the fuck is his name? The coach for the Rams, Sean McVay, about the kick in the field goal because people are thinking it was rigged for Vegas, but people who think that don't understand how divisions work. Because like it was a 7-point spread or 7.5 points, and they were down by 10, so they kicked the field goal. So then they covered. And they did that despite the fact they were down by 10. They kicked the field goal, and then McVay was asked about it. They're like, "Why did you Were you aware that the spread was 7.5?" And he's like, "What?" And they're like, "Well, why'd you kick the field goal at the end?" He goes, "Because it's a divisional opponent and points matter." He's like, "What do you mean? This is the NFL. We know how the season pans out, right? Everybody here is adults." And then they were like, "Oh, right." But of course, everybody's like, "Oh, dude, Vegas must have called in. Vegas must have called in." I'm like, "It's a divisional game, you idiots." Your point differential matters.
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyways, that's for the next section of the game of the podcast. Do you feel like you've significantly, or do you feel like you've sated your anger at the NCAA for this week? It's just going to come back next week. I know that, but
no, I'm just saving it for next week. Eventually, this whole thing's gonna my life is gonna end, and.
Well, shit.
And I just start screaming and just have a stroke.
That got dark.
Yeah.
You're going to have a stroke because of college
play
football?
Any late games?
Any late games?
Or do they only have
everything's fucking... Oh, yeah, they're at Virginia Tech at 7:30, and then they have Boston College at home at 7:30. We should go to the Boston College game.
Let's go to the Boston College game.
7:30 on a Saturday, boys?
Let's go.
Oh, it's a Friday.
Boys.
What?
Yeah.
What?
We can do that too. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
you act like it's that far.
I'm gonna work by 2 on Fridays at least. At the very latest. Usually I'm home by 1.
About sports on Fridays. So. I'm taking in a minor league baseball game this Friday, boys.
Cool.
Fucking matters because the Yankees called up all the fucking good people from AAA. So.
No offense, but minor league baseball is what you do when you have nothing else to do.
That was for my grandpa's birthday, so
that's fine. That's fine. I'm not shitting on you. I'm just saying, like up here, like minor league baseball is like the pinnacle of baseball. So go do it. Although you have to drive the shortest distance you have to drive is 4 hours to Toronto. Other than that, you're 5 hours to Boston, 5 hours to New York City. So the best baseball you're gonna watch is an hour away. New York City. What?
Farther than that to New York City.
Not if you know what you're doing.
Well, if you take the train, then yeah, you're right. But
real quick, while we're on baseball, real quick, because I know we're about to transition to NFL. Did you see Shohei Ohtani plans on just hitting next year?
Yes, I did see that. He said he will be able to hit in 2024, and then he will be able to pitch again in 2025. My dad's devastated because we are obviously in Minnesota this weekend, and Saturday we're gonna go to a Twins game because they're home, and they're playing the Angels, and he wanted to go see Shohei, and then Shohei's like, "Nah, bro, I ain't playing for that trash team."
Yeah, he fucking cleared out his locker. He's ready to leave.
Yeah, he ain't coming
Saying
back.
Goodbye, LA.
He ain't coming back. Oh, you know what? But before we dip off of college football, there's one more thing I want to say because the Pittsburgh logo reminds me. Shout out to West Virginia. Shout out to the University of West Virginia,
good.
baby.
So
Fucking,
good.
To remix Sweet Caroline's Bump Bump Bah to Eat Shit Pitt, dude. College football,
brilliant.
man. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it,
dude. I got my
crowd. That crowd woke up that morning, and was just like, "I'm gonna go ahead and choose violence for the rest of the afternoon."
I'm gonna play that audio for our tens of fans.
Our 10.
Can we?
Why
don't we let that play us out into the next transition or into the next topic?
Brilliant.
Good one. Thank you, West Virginia University crowd, for that beautiful rendition of Sweet Caroline. As a Syracuse fan, I do have to say I agree. Eat shit, Pitt. Especially when it comes to college basketball. Pitt has personally put daggers into my heart more than enough times.
It's awful.
But yeah, so off from college kids onto the pros. We have to come off fresh. Guys, Monday Night Football is cursed.
It's so bad.
I don't know if you have seen or even noticed, but the last 3 Monday Night Footballs are DeMar Hamlin, Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
A guy dies, a 39-year-old man ruptures his Achilles, and then whatever happened to Nick Chubb. Because
Nick Chubb got flamingoed.
Yeah, he got flamingoed, but the jury's still out on what's actually wrong, at least from what I was seeing.
I think
today.
every single fucking ligament, every single L in his knee took an L.
Honestly, I think he's lucky to have a fucking leg this morning.
ACL, MCL, LCL, you fucking name
ACL,
it.
kneecap L, it's all gone.
Kneecap.
his
I'm just picturing an orthopedic surgeon walking in and be like, "Yo, you fucked up that kneecap out."
It's all gone, dude. So I woke up this morning
to a text. He'll be lucky
pretty sure
if he ever comes back next year.
They say in 15 months minimum. And here's the thing with running backs is a lot of them are leaving the game younger now.
Well, yeah, because they're getting the fucking... It's not worth it. They're not getting paid enough to take the punishment they take.
It's just nuts. I woke up this morning I went on... First thing I did was click on Facebook, and I literally seen a post that said, "Wow, prayers for Nick Chubb," and I go, "What happened?" So I just YouTubed Nick Chubb, and then I seen injury, so I clicked on it.
You watched that video?
I was like, "Oh my god!"
Bro, they didn't even show that replay in real time.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is the same knee he messed up when he was at Georgia.
Yeah.
So I mean, how do you bounce back from that? I stretched out my MCL, and my knee still buckles on occasion. Like,
yeah, well, we dealt with the North Country Orthopedic Group, James. They're dealing with the best doctors the world's fucking ever seen.
But still, I mean, that's a lot.
I agree. I have to admit, because I watched those games in real time. I had my dual monitors up, and I was watching them on either or. But when I saw it happen, because of how how A, the crowd reacted because they obviously saw the replay, and B, the fact that they didn't show the replay on TV. I thought he had a compound fracture like through his leg, and I thought that's
Kevin
why
Ware.
they weren't. Yeah, the Kevin Ware injury. I thought that's what he had, and I was like, oh my god, which would have been better for him, honestly. I think he would rather have a compound fractured tibia than whatever the fuck happened to his knee, because as we all know, soft injuries much harder to heal.
Yeah,
and he's going to be 28 in December, so he's going to be 28 by the time next season starts.
What was his draft year?
That would have been
16,
18.
18. Okay, so yeah, 5 years.
Second round. Yeah,
and
I mean he's still going to get,
because he's also underappreciated as far as fans go because he plays for the fucking Browns. But I don't know if you saw the stats, but he's number 2 behind Derrick Henry in most 100+ yard games.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 30, and Derrick Henry has 32.
As a fan in the AFC North, yeah, like he's an absolute animal. He doesn't get anywhere near the love he deserves.
Right, because he's in the Browns.
Ooh, was this a contract year for him too?
Was it?
I don't think so.
He signed a 3-year, $36 million in 2021.
So then no, this would be.
So no, next year would be his contract year. He's probably going to miss half of that. I mean, at 28, 2 knee surgeries on the same knee. Can he bounce back from that? I mean, OBJ did, and I understand his first one wasn't as bad, but man, I don't know if it just looked rough, but that can't be good. I mean, that's going to be. It's going to be hard to come back from. And it sucks because he is one of, if not the best running backs in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean he was easily in the top 3.
Also, to anybody who had Aaron Rodgers and Nick Chubb on your fantasy team, you can get through this.
I had J.K. Dobbins as a fucking rough start.
I'd say top 3 running backs in the NFL right now are CMC, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb. Not in any particular order. Like any 1 week, those 3 could all have a case for number 1.
Right. Bijan, Chubb.
Did you just say Bijan Robinson, the guy who's been in the league for fucking 2 weeks?
Best running back in the league right now this year?
You stop.
You watched him play? I get it. I get it. He's a rookie.
That's fine. He's been in the league for 2 weeks.
Right now, the best running backs in the league. I don't care what you did last year.
Just for assessments purposes, because we were asking, the official word on Nick Chubb is that his knee injury includes multiple torn ligaments.
Right.
So, I wonder if he got the Brady deal. Didn't Brady tear 3?
Brady tore 3.
Did?
I think so.
I thought he did that year. I hate that part of my life. When I hated Tom Brady so much that I was happy to see him tear 3 ligaments in his fucking knee. I don't like who I was.
Also, then. Nico, Bijan Robinson is second right now in rushing yards in the NFL.
I don't care. That doesn't put him in the top 3 in the NFL.
I know. That's like saying that after DeAndre Swift's performance last week, he's one of the top 3 running. Like it's a body of evidence, James. Body of evidence. I need to see more.
Oh, and I understand you need to see more. But if we're talking the best running backs in the league right now, as of today,
no, you're taking it too literally.
No, it's
best running backs to like have on your team. Like you can't say Bijan Robinson because you don't know his body of work yet. You can say, even if he's off to a shit start, you could still say Derrick Henry's a guy I want on my team. You can't say that about Bijan
I would
Robinson
put
yet.
Derrick Henry top 5.
I'd put Derrick Henry number 1.
He's kind of fallen off.
No. The Titans are just bad. I watched him play against the Chargers, bro. He ain't falling off. He hit a fucking hole.
I would still give it
at 25 miles an hour, and if it wasn't for Derwin James, he would have been in the end zone. Who are you putting number 1? If you say Saquon.
No, absolutely not. No, I said it,
Daniel Jones.
a week or two ago?
Daniel Jones, best running back. Heard it here first, folks.
No, I said it
Not gonna lie to you.
Ago. I think it's Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, who's hurt all the time?
Did we not
just say this?
Did I not say that when we were talking about the Bengals and the Chargers offense, that I would arguably put Austin Eckler as one of the top 2 running backs in the NFL, and he's not number 2. And you agreed with me.
Did I agree, or did I just kind of thumbs up it because I thought it was funny you were shitting on James?
It was more of a non-committal.
Right.
But
Austin, I'm not discounting Austin Eckler's abilities. His abilities are there, but I just can't. I'm not comfortable crowning a running back who is hurt as often as he is.
Daniel Jones has 12 less rushing yards than Saquon Barkley. Just to put that out there.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones had more passing yards in the second half than Joe Burrow has in 2 games.
He played the Cardinals, bro.
I don't care.
Nico, I'm sorry. And you know what? This is all right. You know what?
They played the Browns.
You know what?
The Browns.
You're the type of dude to put fucking Georgia at number 1. The Browns? Oh,
No.
You mean Myles Garrett? You mean You mean the Cleveland Myles Garretts? Myles Garrett would fucking eat the Giants alive and throw them away.
The Browns.
So let's not sit here and pretend like the Giants are any good. All right, I understand. Oh my God, they put up all these points, and Daniel Jones threw for this many years against the fucking Cardinals.
The Browns didn't come to the table. Yeah, the Browns didn't come to the table in the preseason meetings and say, "By the way, guys, we're losing everything. We're not going to win a game." I am still convinced, and this is my conspiracy theory, and I will go to the fucking grave with this. I am convinced that the owner called down to the coach and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because there's just no way. There's no way that after 6 quarters of abysmal, bad football, that the Giants just figured it out. It's not possible.
You want to talk about the Cleveland Browns? They lost last night. All right. Yes, they did. Guess what? Of the
How many points they let up? They wouldn't have lost if it wasn't for him.
Exactly. Their offense is terrible. Their defense is not.
They gave up 14
so let's stop
points
pretending.
on defense.
They gave up 14 points on defense and gave up 26 points in total. So they gave up 12 points to the Steelers. You can't sit here and act like beating the fucking Cardinals is some crowning achievement. Daniel Jones is still mid. Giants are still finishing last in their division.
No.
Stop.
Buddy, the Commanders are 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's not 2-0?
They also played the Cardinals.
And?
So you're acting like it's a crowning achievement that they put up 20 points against the fucking Cardinals, and they put up 35 against the Broncos. Oh my God. They're coming for number 1 spot. That's what you sound like when you talk about Daniel Jones being better than Joe Burrow. It's not true. Joe Burrow's better on one calf. You're acting like it's some crowning achievement that he put up more yards than Joe Burrow. Guess what? Joe Burrow's been playing with a fucking torn calf, apparently.
We said that. I said that. I've been saying that for weeks.
Said that.
He put up 200 yards in the second half, and you're bragging about Daniel Jones having one good game? No, Joe Burrow put up 200 yards in the second half of that game.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones put up 250.
Congratulations. They were getting blown the fuck out in the first half.
Fine. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
No, he's
That's exactly what the fucking owner said to the Cardinals. He said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. If you
don't
lose this fucking game, you're all fired. Missing the point. The point is you act like Daniel Jones is any good.
I'm not saying he's the greatest fucking quarterback to ever walk on 2 feet, but I'm not saying he's the worst.
Your organization is trash for paying him $40 million a year and fucking up the whole
I
quarterback
agree.
market.
Yeah.
The Cardinals do not care to win. The only thing they care about is watching more footage of fucking Caleb Williams playing. That's all they care about.
Yeah, but Caleb Williams was like, I'm not going to fucking play for the Cardinals.
Fair.
He literally was like, I'll stay in school.
Why?
Right.
Well, I don't. He might want to though, because him and Kyler Murray could probably game share on Xbox.
Well, that
get all the new Call of Duties for free.
Why would you put yourself in a position to fail? Like that's the one thing I always feel bad is these number 1 draft picks go, man, and they go to the fucking dumpsterous franchise. It's so fucking like the NFL really should institute a lottery system of some kind. 'Cause fuck, man. I mean, like I'm still convinced that Sam Darnold is probably a good quarterback. He just played for the Jets.
I kind of wonder what would have happened if Johnny Manziel went to a decent team.
Right. Like a team that could foster quarterbacks, somebody with a coach kind of like Andy Reid who just does well with quarterbacks, Doug Peterson, Kyle Shanahan, any of those franchises. Like you just wonder because like look what Kyle Shanahan's done with Brock Purdy. Are you fucking kidding me? Brock Purdy's not good. He's just playing for Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
There's no way 31 franchises skip on Brock Purdy for 270 whatever fucking picks to turn out that he's some fucking savant quarterback. Like, he's bad.
Actually, he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Tom Brady?
How many teams skipped up on him?
Yeah, but he was like the 34th pick.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was 199th.
Oh.
There were 198 people picked before Tom Brady.
Right.
But
I
mean,
also look back at what Tom Brady was coming out of Michigan.
He wasn't great coming out of Michigan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You see that picture of him at the combine, I'm like, that's our GOAT. But logistically, I get what you're saying, but it doesn't mean anything.
No, I refuse. I've seen what Kyle Shanahan can do. I mean, look at Jimmy Garoppolo outside of San Francisco. Trash.
I think it should be mandated that if you have the number 1 overall pick, you should have to have a new coach.
I don't know about that.
Team finishes fucking 0-17. Yeah, no.
You
get first round pick. You get the first overall pick, but you also get a new coach.
Because what the NHL does, what the bottom 16 teams, right, Nico?
The draft lottery?
Yeah, and it's a scale based on how badly you finish.
No, I literally think it's just a lottery pick.
No, they scale it. Because people were shocked that,
I don't think
Chicago got it when they weren't the worst fucking team. The Columbus should have gotten Connor Bedard and Chicago got it, and everybody's pissed saying it was rigged.
Here's the thing, though. You do something like that, then you have the 49ers getting, like, Joe Burrow.
No, you wouldn't, because they wouldn't be in the lottery.
Oh, you're saying, like, X amount of teams.
Yeah,
like
it's like basically like right now, because they do what, seven teams in the playoffs, so that's 14 out of the 30. Is it 32 teams in the NFL? I think it is.
32 in the NFL, yes.
Yeah, so then you have 18 teams that don't make it, so those 18 teams go into a lottery, and then the 14 teams that made the playoffs don't. And they go by ranking at the end of the year.
Fair.
Yeah.
Because that's what the NHL does. If you don't make the postseason, you go into the draft lottery, and your odds are based on... I mean, everybody has a chance at the number 1 pick, because the year the Rangers got the number 1 pick, they finished, like, I don't know, in the middle part of the pack there. I mean, granted, they wasted the pick on Alexi Lafreniere, but that's another podcast. It's a different time, another episode. But the point is, anybody can win it.
Season starts soon. We'll be getting there here shortly.
Yeah, your chances just increase. So, like, the worst team in the NHL has a 35% chance of getting the first overall pick, and it works down from there. So, like, is it worth it to tank? I guess you could say it is, but realistically, like, your chances aren't good enough. You're not guaranteed to get that franchise quarterback like you are right now if you just suck ass.
Yeah. that situation, the Cardinals probably would have won on Sunday.
Probably.
Alrighty then. Now that we've established.
Did either of you watch the games last night?
Let me apologize for taking some anger out on you, because that's not on you. That's on
the fact that the Bengals are 0-2.
Oh, it's on the AP poll, honestly.
Yeah.
Just the residual anger that's in my body solely relies
James
on that.
Is a
the fact the Bengals are 0-2.
Fan. He doesn't care the Bengals are 0-2.
Yeah, they could be 0-7 and like, we're going to turn the ship around. It's fine.
It's like, we're the Bengals. That's what we do.
Listen, we started off 2-4 last year and then went on a fucking 10-game win streak.
Yeah.
Really don't give a shit if we start 0-4.
They were saying that today on the Dan Patrick show. They're like, is it a must win? And Dan's like, no, I won't say it's a must win until it's an elimination game for them. Did you guys watch both games last night? Did you watch any games last night?
I watched a little bit of Browns Steelers.
I watched
a 9/11 documentary.
All right.
I watched part of the
full 10 days later.
The Saints Panthers game.
That was boring as fuck.
Actually, Trav, I'm going to send you a documentary. It's pretty sick.
Is it
was what, 6-6 at half?
Yeah, it was 6-6 at half. I said, is it loose change? Or it was 6-3 at the half.
No, it's we're doing a documentary on what it's like to be a Pro B fireman.
Oh.
And their station was right down the street from the World Trade Centers. And this poor Pro B, he had a little fire and then a car fire, and that was all the experience he had before 9/11.
Oh wow! Talk about, for lack of a better fucking term, talk about getting thrown into the fire.
Yeah. But it's actually like the documentary guy was like by the police chief's or the fire chief's side the whole time.
Oh.
So like he has video of the first plane hitting. He's one of two to ever have that footage, and completely accidental. And then he has like footage from inside towers as one of them got hit and it collapsed.
Shit.
That's pretty sick. It's on YouTube. I'll send it to you.
Cool.
Speaking of crashing and burning.
Not to disrespectfully move on, but yeah, speaking of crashing and burning, the Patriots are 0-2.
Congrats. Did anybody see that going the other way, or?
No.
I didn't, but I think Pats fans are delusional, so maybe they're like that. But I mean, I think there was a surprising number of people who thought that because the Dolphins were going into Gillette, that they couldn't win. And I was like, where are you getting that from? Gillette's not what it used to be, man. Vince Wilfork hasn't played in the fucking Gillette in a long time.
Tom Brady's gone. Get over it.
Right. Tom Brady's gone. But anyway, so like Sunday night game went exactly how I thought it would go. I was actually more impressed. I came out of that game more impressed with Mike McDaniels than I thought I would be, because I thought he did a great job adjusting for what the Patriots were allowing.
He looks like he walked in and was like, I'm the coach now, and they were just like, okay.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, no, he does have that vibe. Like he just
won
showed
a
the
Madden
camp
tournament
and like put the fucking headset on, and they're like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm the new coach," and they're like, "What? All right."
He's like, not to brag, but I'm undefeated on Madden, and they're just like, okay.
Yeah, but he I mean, he knows what the fuck he's doing. He totally changed. Like, I don't know, Nico, you might have, because you're a Chargers subsidiary, but like the game plan between those two games is night and day, and that is an accolade for Mike McDaniels, because they were downfield, deep. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle were just let loose, and then Bill Belichick made the adjustment, basically played an umbrella defense the whole fucking night, and then they just adjusted to a kind of dink and dump offense with letting Mostert just have himself a day. I mean, if you just look at the statistics, you got Tua with 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jalen Waddle had 86 yards receiving, was the leading receiver of the night, and then is it Mostert or Mostert, whatever the fuck his name is? Mostert. He had 18 carries for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. That just tells you the difference in how the game is played.
I had him in fantasy when he was on the Niners. When he left, I was like, this man's about to fucking blow up.
Right. And also, did you guys watch the game?
That one I didn't.
I think the first half, and then I went to bed.
Oh, so you guys didn't see how it ended?
Oh.
No.
Let me show you how it ended.
Is it the Patriots lateral to offensive lineman on 4th down fails to pay off?
Yeah, but they originally called it a first down in the field and then did a replay, and without spotting the ball in the replay, we're just like, nah, it's short. This is the replay.
It's fucking
I'm
rude.
gonna get an ad right now, dude. Are you kidding me, ESPN? I pay for ESPN Plus, you scumbags. Screw you, Disney. I have every single subscription to give me ads right now. Fuck that company. They have billions.
He backpedals. He's pressured. He's hit. He throws it to the near side. Fingertip catch by Gesicki.
So this is the initial play.
Laterals it back. Caught by Strange. He's wrapped up. He drives two tacklers.
And right there, I thought he got it.
He looks like he has it.
And they called it that he had it. But then this replay is the one they said was conclusive, quote unquote.
And again, this review initiated from the replay official.
Which, to me, I mean,
I
thought he was at least close enough to deserve a fucking measurement. They didn't even measure it. They literally just came out of the replay and were like, after further review, the runner was short of the line to gain, turnover on downs. They didn't spot the ball. They didn't do anything. They just were like, that's it. In what world does the fucking NFL end a game, a primetime game, like that?
I feel bad for Pats fans because if that was a Bengals game, I would be beside myself.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it's almost like they were like, it's that mentality of
no, I don't feel bad.
Next chef's got it
because they were so good for so long. Fuck them.
But come on,
James was having what's called empathy, Nico. You should try it every once in a while. But he's saying if I was a fan,
in that situation,
if it was my team, I'd be fucking livid. And so he's like, I get where they're coming from. And yeah, I don't know. That's the biggest thing. If they saw the spot, there's just no way from that angle that they can be like, yeah, for sure that's short, dude. 100%. It's not like he was feet short.
It's not like that camera's straight on either.
Yeah.
Fucking angled. So I don't like if that was the Giants or the Eagles, I would fully expect a fucking phone call. I would literally be sitting there staring at my phone waiting for it to pop up.
If that's the Eagles, I'm texting my sister saying, hey, I'm going to be down in the area. And then that's the only evidence that I'm in that area because I'm going to the NFL headquarters and I can't be controlled for my actions from that point further. Not saying it would be violent. I'm not saying it would be violent, but I probably would end up in jail.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We probably won't hear from you for quite a while.
Right, we'd be doing the podcast from fucking Sing Sing. That's where I'd be calling in from. Because I would be fucking beside myself. Because I mean, it's just.
If you think I'm paying 5 cents a minute just to talk to you for 2 hours.
All right, dude, I'll pre-record. Just react to what I say.
We can change the name to the Prison Pod.
The Prison Pod.
Share some ramen recipes.
Oh, dude, just fucking short, bald, and striped.
You get the picante chicken, right? And then mix it with the shrimp, but you don't cook it all, okay? You take a few pieces and you put it on top and it makes it a little bit of crunchy. It's a whole game changer.
I'm just like talking to you guys.
A little bit of crunchy.
I'm just talking to you guys about how all that mead making turned me into a great toilet wine maker. It's just utterly unhinged.
We wouldn't have to pay for anything because Travis would be selling prison hooch. It'd be fine. We'd be getting a phone call. He'd start every podcast with, today's Short, Fat, and Balding is brought to you by Travis's Prison Hooch. You can find yours at your local Etsy shop.
Travis's Pooch Hooch. Available in whatever flavors of fruits they give you at Sing Sing Prison.
We're running a special this week. It is ramen flavored wine because they were out of fresh produce in the commissary.
A 2-for-1 special on Semi-rotted orange flavored toilet mead.
So if you're hearing this, please send my account money so I can make more hooch. Like,
oh God. Anyways,
that
needless
would be
to
the
say,
pod.
NFL, don't put me in that predicament because I don't have self-control, and I don't want to make pooch hooch. I don't want to do it. I like doing it at home with my dogs by my side. That could be its own pooch hooch, but I'm not calling it that. Anyways,
can someone please send me more labels? I'm out of labels.
I have way too many labels in real life.
Oh my God.
I have like 36 labels for the raspberry mead. I made 4 bottles. I needed the discount, bro. I wasn't gonna pay. You know. Like,
Jesus.
Why would I pay like 48 cents a label when I could just pay 10 cents a label if I buy the bulk? I'll make more.
Question: how the fuck did we get here?
I don't. Because of the fucking NFL. All right, it puts us in a bad place. Okay. Moving on. The closer to the Sunday afternoon.
I'll be right next to you.
Was the Broncos and the Commanders? Did either of you watch that game?
I did.
That ending.
I was in a place that I could watch 5 games at once.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's called Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, but Nico doesn't have Sunday Ticket.
Right.
Speaking of which, short little promo for Sunday Ticket, even though they're never going to pay me. If, for whatever reason, you have a student email, you can get Sunday Ticket for $100. I found that out on Sunday because I checked into the old student accounts, and then I put in my verified email, and then I paid $100 even for Sunday Ticket for the season, including Red Zone.
Speaking of paying for Sunday Ticket, Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, either of you are listening. No, you're not. I just want, can you send me a check for $249 because I paid and you guys just aren't showing up? Or how's this going to work?
The chances of them listening to us are slim to none.
Honestly, if either of them are, they can talk so much shit about this podcast, but just make sure you add us on Twitter at shortfatbaldpod. Thank you. Broncos Commanders. So Russell Wilson, bad in the second half. Very bad.
Yep.
The Commanders, I mean,
could have just stopped at bad, by the way.
Against all odds, baby. The Commanders just fucking doing it, just putting dubs on the field. That ending of that game was bonkers. I thought the Broncos were the team of destiny after that Hail Mary. I was like, there's no way that happens. It bounced around like Bob Barker Plinko having Betsy up there dropping her fucking little coins hoping for a new car. I mean, it must have bounced. I know it was actually 3, but it felt like 426 times. And then that dude catches it in the end zone. I was like, is this real life? I thought I witnessed a Madden glitch in real life. That's really what I thought had happened. I was like, oh, I'm playing Madden. This is dumb.
I'm not going to lie to you, though. The Commanders got away with PI so bad.
On the 2-point conversion?
Yeah, that was
it was egregious.
No call.
Dude, side note, speaking of 2-point conversions, I learned a fucking rule. Was it yesterday or was it... What the fuck? I don't even know what game it was. But it was somebody fumbled on a 2-point conversion prior to the end zone and then was recovered by his teammates in the end zone. But apparently the rule on that is if a ball is fumbled into the end zone and recovered by a teammate, the ball by rule goes back to the point of the fumble. Therefore, it was a no good try. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
No one fucking did.
Either.
What the fuck game was that? I was watching it with Nate. I remember it.
Pissed.
I remember it happening, and I was like, "Wait, that's a rule?" Because I thought they converted. I was like, "That's sick, they converted." And then the guy walks out, and he's like, "The ruling on the field is a fumble, and into the end zone, recovered by a teammate. So by rule, the ball is placed back at the point of the fumble. Therefore, no try or a failed try." And I'm like, "What the fuck rule is that? Who wrote that? Who wrote that specific? They're like, nah, we got him, bro. All right, you know what? You thought fumbling
who
out
wrote
the
that
back
is
of the end zone
who
is
lost to that.
You know who? Yeah, you know how we wrote the rule for fumbling out the back of the end zone, and how that pisses everybody off. I got one for you, bro. Have fun fumbling outside of the end zone into the end zone, and then your teammate recovers it. Guess what, bitch? You thought it was a touchdown? Nope, bro. It ain't shit. Trash. Go back to where you fucking fumbled the ball. I wish I knew which game it was so I could show you guys. Anyways, moving on. The Cowboys absolutely worked Zach Wilson into probably an early retirement. Milf Hunter, the pizzazz is over.
Yeah, it was never there to begin with.
Yeah, that's true.
Got his chance.
I guess people thought maybe because Aaron Rodgers threw some fucking ayahuasca powder on him or something that he maybe got better, but I don't know.
It's in the bag, smoking ayahuasca. He's gonna be back next week. It's fine.
Yeah. You see, he shared a thing that was the night is darkest before the dawn. Relax, Aaron. Jesus Christ.
Oh, the night is dark when you stay in an isolation chamber for 6 weeks.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure the nights are real dark out in the rural Montana in a fucking teepee. Giants Cardinals we already talked about. Rams 49ers surprising.
The one thing I want to talk about at the Giants Cardinals.
You have 5 seconds. 1.
The emergence of Jalen Hyatt and just absolutely getting open out of nowhere. That dude is.
I was gonna say the emergence of Jalen Hyatt. He had 2 receptions for 89 yards, Nico.
Right. He showed his fucking speed, and I need the Giants to use him more.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
I have a Jalen Hyatt rookie card.
I do too.
Wow, are we all I can think of right now is that one fucking meme where he's like, "Wow, this is useless." He's all excited.
It's funny because it's Nico's, and I'm probably gonna burn it now.
Oh wow,
that was mean.
Yeah, fucking hard.
Oh, by the way, Nico, I have a stack of cards here for you, solely because Nick just refuses to send them to you. He just sends them to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So 49ers Rams.
Shout out Nick at Overtime Breaks.
Very cool.
He listens to the show.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Answer the polls, nice. Nick. All right. So
also, I can call you a chubby bastard on here, and Facebook can't ban me, so fuck you, chubby.
49ers Rams. The Rams were a little feisty, no?
Are they back?
They're not all right, dude.
They're still not back, dude.
Are they back? I mean, fucking what? Pekka Nakua is his fucking name?
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua. I mean, he was everybody's sleeper fucking pick, right? Yeah, everybody had him in their fantasy team. Not.
Did you know?
I mean, I did, but
I did. Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you know he's actually close friends with Dana White?
That's his uncle.
It's not his real uncle.
Did you know that I actually can't stand Dana White?
That honestly does not surprise me.
I think that he's the biggest con artist in the fucking world, and he should pay his fighters more.
That's fair. If he didn't give all of his money to fucking Conor McGregor. Anyways, but we're talking about football.
All right, so Rams they showed up. Matt Stafford, 2 picks, brutal, but 307 yards, good game. Puka Nakua. Holy shit, 11-15 is my point where I start yawning.
Yannin?
Yeah, 15 receptions, 147 yards, so he balled out. Yeah, so I think the Rams aren't quite as bad as we all thought they were going to be. I'm pretty sure we all thought they were going to be in the sweepstakes, and they are not going to be. I think they're not going to compete for a playoff spot, but I don't think they're going to go fucking 4-13.
7-9.
I was going to say 6 wins, probably.
7-10.
Yeah,
7 sounds about right.
I forget the extra.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a new point in our lives. We went through a long time with 16. And now they just threw 17 on us. The Colts and the Texans. I didn't give a shit about that game. I quite frankly don't give a shit about the AFC South. It's the Jags division to lose, and the rest of the teams are such fucking dumpster fires that I just don't care. I mean, the biggest thing about that is the fact that Anthony Richardson went out with a concussion. That's it. That's the worst thing.
He had 17.5 fantasy points before the first quarter was over, and then he was just out. And then fucking Minshew Mania showed up again.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Imagine having more points, more fantasy points, only playing one quarter and getting concussion than Joe Burrow did. That's crazy. So Chiefs Jags. Honestly, the Chiefs defense looks really good. Surprisingly good, but I mean,
especially
granted,
Chris Jones back.
I was gonna say they have Chris Jones. By the way, if you're Chris Jones, how pissed are you that you sat there and fought and argued and clawed your way to a 1-year contract to get paid what you thought you were worth, for them to just the fucking following week announce Patrick Mahomes restructuring to pay him even more?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man.
They fought you tooth and nail and then just give it to Patty Mahomes.
Yeah. Like, he didn't. I mean, he's already signed. What are you, like, you're sitting here telling me we don't have the money, we don't have the money, we don't have the money. And then this dude who's not signed, you just like, hey, you want more money? Like, it's so fucked. I mean, I don't know, man. I know he got to get paid. He's got to get a paycheck and he's got to play. But, like, I can tell you right now, Chris Jones does not re-sign with Kansas City after this year. I wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
Have him come over to the Eagles. We struggle on defensive line.
Yeah. You're the last person that needs a defensive lineman.
I was gonna say, could you imagine Jalen Carter, Chris Jones, Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham? It'd be fucking so stupid. Anyways, the Bucks and the Bears, another fucking loser bowl. I mean, Baker Mayfield, good for you. He won 2 games. I mean, he played the Vikings, who, like, I don't even know what they are right now.
The Vikings.
I'm high on Baker Mayfield.
Why?
He showed flashes of brilliance with Cleveland, and that was with Cleveland. I think getting him out of there was the best bet, and I think he can push the Buccaneers to the verge of a playoff team, but not actually be a playoff team.
I don't know. You know how I feel about Tampa Bay. I think Tampa needs to get put back in their place.
I think you're a big Tampa fan, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, they need to be put back into the fucking sewer that they came from. Fucking sewer city, sewer franchises. That's where they all fucking belong. They've had too much enjoyment lately. Go back to the 90s Tampa. Anyways, Titans, Chargers. What the fuck, Chargers?
Yeah.
What the fuck? When are they going to fire Brandon Staley?
It can't come soon enough.
He got to at this point. I mean, he's got this one of the most talented rosters in football.
And he has one of the most talented rosters in football. He is a defensive coach, and he's given up 58 points in 2 weeks. And if we go back,
they've scored 58 in 2 weeks. They've let up 63.
Oh, okay. There you go. 63. So they've given up 63 points in 2 weeks. And if we go back to the fucking playoffs, they blew, what was it, Nico? A 3-score lead?
I don't remember.
28-7, something like that. Either way, it's like, would you have a lead like that in the postseason? And you fucking blow it? And you're a defensive head coach? If you're a defensive head coach and you have a multi-score lead in the playoffs, your dick should be so fucking hard that they have to actually edit it out like a fucking Japanese anime. Like, just blur out your fucking crotch reason because you look like you are actually building a building in your fucking nether, yeah. That's what you should be. And instead he shit his fucking pants in front of everybody. And he continues to do it. He's just a baby in a diaper blowing shit out of his ass. And his mom's trying to pick it up.
Did you just Big Bang Theory that?
No.
It's Nether yeah?
Oh, yes, that was a Big Bang Theory.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
I heard that and immediately thought Amy Fowler.
Shout out Jim Parsons if you're listening. Also shout out Kaylee Cuoco if you're listening. Moving on. Yeah, so that's my Brandon Staley rant. Nate, if you heard that, I hope you feel better about yourself. Because you're in a dark place and we brought you back. The Lions and the Seahawks, man. I'm so sad. Like I'm not sad. I was just 50-50 on this game because I love seeing the Geno Smith comeback arc. Like that's my favorite arc in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck me, I want the Lions to be good.
Yeah.
We talk about back-to-back weeks. Geno Smith is involved in the funniest moment in sports for that week.
Why? What happened?
First, we got Aaron Donald running at him full bore.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
And then this week, he's arguing with a ref or trying to argue with a ref, and the ref says, "Excuse me, I'm talking to America right now."
That's fucking iconic.
That is great.
Excuse me, I'm talking to America.
It is literally the greatest clip to come out of football.
Oh, dude, I love.
And can you please play that for the people? It is literally.
See if I can find
the greatest thing. Just put Geno Smith. I'm talking to America. Right there.
I knew it.
Yep, every time.
Walmart.
No free ad reads, bud.
Dan Campbell trying to emulate the Pete Carroll gum chewing. And now they're looking at
intentional grounding. Offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here. Second down.
He said, "I'm talking to America here." Yeah.
I need Geno Smith mic'd up every week for this shit.
A fucking t-shirt with an official making the intentional grounding signal that says "I'm talking to America here." Barstool,
I guarantee you it's already a thing.
Chelsea, if you're listening, make it happen. I know you have a cricket.
She does. No, yeah, she's isolating for the next 5 days. I got a project for her.
There you go. I want one.
Those will be our first merch shirts. Excuse me, I'm talking to America.
I want one while she's at it.
Fuck, man, that's
so good.
Iconic. James, do you have anything to say about Ravens Bengals?
That's it.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, you know what though? After the first half, I was checked out because they had 3 drives and resulted in 34 yards. And the only reason they were still in the game was the Purdue product. I believe Charlie Jones is his name. Took a punt back to the house.
Yep.
They tried their damnedest. Call back, but they couldn't.
What's your
fishing? I'm not this guy, but officiating was an issue in this game. There was a lot of questionable at best calls. The Bengals had a fumble. Bengals had a fumble recovery in the red zone, which foreign territory to them. They probably would have coughed it up anyways. But he got called back on hands to the face call, which I didn't even like. Even the commentators were like, I don't know about that. And then later in the game, we watched OBJ grab onto Scott and then drag him to the ground, and they called it defensive holding.
Oh,
wow. Despite the fact that OBJ had a hold of his pads. He pulled him to the ground, and it was defensive holding. I'm not. They didn't lose the game solely because of officiating, but officiating was an issue in this game.
Ooh, nice.
Bless you.
That I tried to shade that away. It did not work.
You gotta get a quick tap on the mute.
Yeah.
The not that anybody gives a shit, but what's the name of like your whoever like the special person is at the stadium that day?
Ruler of the Jungle was AJ Green this week.
So I just want to tell you the fucking what happened to me. Okay, I'm perusing on Twitter at shortfatbaldpod, and checking out the latest happenings, and for a split second, I thought I saw the most unhinged post of my life because somebody shared like Vontez Burfict coming back from injury, and they were like, they shared it like unironically, and I didn't see the caption that said he should be our person of the jungle, or whatever the fuck you just said, leader of the jungle.
Ruler of the jungle.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh, God.
I didn't see that part, so I'm like, dude, this dude wants Vontez Burfict to go back into the league in 2023, bro. He will actually get kicked out. Like, what do you fucking mean?
What's the next step for Vontez Burfict? Is it just murder on the field?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like we're gonna. So I was like, I was scared. I was like, this dude wants violence. He woke up and chose violence today because he said Vontez Burfict needs to come back, and then I was like, oh wait, it's a quote, and then I read it, and they were like, yeah, he should be leader of the jungle. I was like, oh, that's better.
Actually, AJ Green, ruler of the jungle. AJ Green actually signed a 1-day contract with the Bengals so he could retire as a Bengal, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's good. I mean, most like the highlights of his career were as a Bengal, despite the fact that there weren't many.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Someone just did that with the Giants, I believe. I can't remember his name.
Well, then clearly he wasn't fucking relevant.
Should have been Daniel Jones.
No, he was a prominent, like skill player. I just can't remember who it was.
Bills.
That you probably should have tried to keep him.
Bills absolutely worked Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So we saw the Mr. Hyde of that is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Week 1 we got Mr. Jekyll, and now we have Mr. Hyde. So we wonder what's next.
Do you see the fucking caption? The worse Josh Allen feels 1 week, the better he plays the next.
Yeah.
Should have had a really bad playoff game that first round last year. Maybe they would have stood a chance against Cincy.
This is exactly why we had the discussion we had last week, though, where it's like you're on the fence about would I take Josh Allen to be my franchise QB, because without being able to handpick the coordinator and put him with the best possible coordinator that he could have, he's a loose cannon out there. He's a fucking, you know what he is? He's the NFL equivalent of that fucking elk running through that town in Yellowstone, just ruining people's fucking day, but then chilling out after he gets laid.
Yeah, like the pictures are cool, but there's 5 dead. So right. I mean, like you've got to make a decision here. I mean, that, like I said, I just don't trust him. He can do this, what he did to the Raiders, and then he can go back and do it what he did against the Jets just as easy.
Right.
And it's not like there's a huge gap of skill between the Raiders and the Jets. I'd actually say the Raiders are a better team than the Jets.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Josh Allen, you're getting 300 yards and 3 picks, 3 fumbles, 3 fucking touchdowns. You're getting something. It's going to be entertaining. That's the one thing I will say. It's going to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to Josh Allen for being a blue cheese guy.
Ew.
Yes.
What'd you say, James?
I said yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you're an adult. I know Nico has to have ranch for his fucking chicken nuggies. So
no,
fucking toddler.
I don't actually use the ranch for my wings. I just use it with the celery.
It's irrelevant.
I just like my wings plain.
Falcons Packers, all right, dude. Jordan Love.
Fucking sue me.
Not clutch.
Oh, he actually looked a little drunk on that QB sneak he attempted too. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Desmond Ridder, clutch. 13 points in the fourth quarter to fucking lead his team down victory lane. Credit to him. The Falcons, sneaky 2-0. Did not expect them to be good. So
I think they've got firepower right now. I mean,
yeah,
it's just there. Things are finally clicking for them, and I'm really hoping they make a decent playoff run.
I hope they make a decent playoff run, and I hope if they make a Super Bowl, they just sign Matt Ryan to like a game contract just for a chance, you know?
And then they get a 28-3 lead and then just blow it.
Yo, did you see that announcer said that to him?
Yeah. That was savage.
He's like, feels like they should be up 28-3. I was like, bro. And then you just saw the fucking Vietnam flashbacks from Matt Ryan in his eyes. The fucking the Black Hawk chopper in the background and the fucking just guns going off.
They should have just had Brady walk in at that point in time. Matt Ryan would have got up and left. He'd been like, I'm done.
Oh, that's fucking
quit.
I was like, don't do that to my boy. Matt Ryan's a good man. You're gonna do him like that. You're gonna disrespect him like that.
He's got a family.
Yes, he do. And then the last game of the conversation, the Eagles and the Vikings. The Vikings are the single greatest fantasy team to never win a game.
Yeah.
I have Kirkless D Cousins on
Junior,
the third Esquire, on my fantasy team. And I have Justin Jefferson on my fantasy team. And they could go 0-17 and I'm still going to get 50 fucking points a week out of that duo. Because for whatever reason, it just doesn't matter. I don't know. The Vikings are the most egregious franchise. I've never seen anything like I have seen the first 2 weeks out of the Vikings. Where like they just... if you only watched from the 20 to the 20, you would think the Vikings were winning the game 45-0. And then it's like they have dementia and they get inside the red zone and they forget where they are and get angry and just start punching the nurses until they get sent back to the fucking cafeteria to eat their fucking porridge. And then they end up losing the game. You know?
I've been a notorious Kirk Cousins hater. Honestly, when he was talking about the Jetta's fumble out of the end zone, it resulted in a touchback.
Yeah.
He took the blame. He said, if I would have made a better throw, could he have caught that on the run? Could he have caught it in the basket and he wouldn't have fumbled it? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, you put it on him. It's his job to hold the ball.
Right.
So I think I appreciate Kirk for kind of taking credit for that, even though it's not his to take credit for. But
right. And Kirk's, I don't know why I get it because you're just a fucking nasty person, but Kirk Cousins is a good guy at football, man. He's never done anything like the most controversial thing he's ever done in his whole career was "How do you like me now?"
And that fucking video of him on the team plane with fucking 17 chains around his neck.
Dude, that's Kirk the Ice, all right? That's Kirk Ice Cousins. That's the Iceman. That's not his fault. That's his team. That's him chilling. He's not dramatic,
it's just
though.
Egregious.
I'm cool. I'm cool with fucking Iceman. I love Kirk.
Anywho.
If I didn't have Jalen Hurts, like if we were the old Eagles where like our options were like fucking Sam Bradford, I'd sell my soul for Kirk Cousins.
Pretty sure anybody whose option is Sam Bradford.
How did Sam Bradford even get in the league, bro? The dude's cross-eyed. You see every picture of him? He's looking 6 directions at once. He looks like a fucking chameleon out there.
No way.
You serious, dude? Sam Bradford? Sam Bradford looks like he's had a concussion since birth. Are you fucking serious?
No fucking way.
Oh, dude, no, I can't. You gotta be kidding.
Holy shit, he is.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Every fucking picture of this. Look at this, bro. Nah, dude. That man is a murderer.
It looks like he's looking at his nose.
Yeah. He doesn't fucking know where he's looking. That's why he couldn't hit the receiver. He thought they were at the 35. They're at the fucking 25.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God, those were dark days seeing fucking number 7 jerseys when they weren't.
People actually bought those?
No. You get it.
Yeah, you were a Bengals fan.
Look at this, man. Look at this. Who punched him in that eye?
That is a horror movie. That is like...
No, this is a villain. This
is
a
a
villain
serial
arc.
killer documentary.
In fact, I might be his first victim because I'm talking so much shit, but... like, Like, look at this. There's no way he knows where the receiver is. This eye's going to the fucking straight, and this eye's over in the crowd. Are you fucking...
For what it's worth, his first kill was probably just every team he's played for seasons in hopes of stuffs, because he was not good.
No, dude, his first kill was probably him trying to, like, casually throw some scissors at somebody, like, as a joke. Like, oh, yeah, here, take the scissors. And he threw them to fucking far left, thinking the person was right in front of him, and ended up hitting somebody.
Scroll up a little bit.
Yeah.
Up.
This one?
Nope. Up. Who is that Sam Bradford?
Oh. That is not the Sam Bradford I'm talking about. That is... I have no idea who this is.
What are his stats? Does he have stats?
He's a
quarterback?
That says passing yards.
Jesus, he looked like a linebacker.
Fuck? He looks like an offensive lineman.
Is this the wrong picture for... This is the wrong picture for Sam Bradford. This cannot be serious, bro. Look. It's the wrong picture. Oh my God.
When did the other Sam Bradford play in Arizona?
Dude, there's no way.
When did he play in Arizona?
Dude, I can just do this.
It's him right there.
I know, but give me a second. He wants to... If there's a different... No, dude, there's no way. It's the wrong picture, bro. 2018.
Okay.
They put a beefy black man as a picture for Sam Bradford as the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals in 2018. I wish more than anything in my life right now this is a live video podcast, because this is surreal.
Hey, nothing ever stopped us from putting up a clip.
This is going up. This is surreal.
No, yeah.
This is surreal. He is
an offensive lineman. That guy is an offensive lineman for either the New York Giants or the LA Rams.
Who is this man? Who is this actual man?
Do a reverse search.
How do I do that?
Save that picture.
Damn it. Reverse. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just do it on... I think Tin Eye had...
Okay, cool. All right.
Terrell Chavis.
What?
He is the Giants
defensive tackle.
Defensive lineman.
This cannot...
What?
What the fuck is going on? Oh, this is utterly unhinged. I'm sorry. That's off the rails.
Oh my goodness. And Fox Sports, get it together.
I need to do this while I remember. I'll forget if I don't.
That is probably the single greatest thing I have ever spotted.
Oh no, I gotta snip it with his fucking stats so the camera at home.
Oh, beautiful.
What if do they have a bio?
Dennis
6'4", 224. This guy.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Hold on, let me look up Terrell Chavis' actual size.
Oh my God. Travis is on the verge of tears.
I just don't know what to do. I've never seen anything like this in my life. God, there are so many QA checks on sites this big, and it's gotta be a joke. Or someone's really bad at their job because it went through 5 fucking people. And they were like, yep, that looks like Sam Bradford. The worst part is, I don't even think that Terrell Chavis came into the league until, like, recently.
Yeah. He was born in 94.
Oh, my fucking God.
The other Sam Bradford was born in 87.
And they went to Penn State. Sam Bradford went to Oklahoma. What's happening?
Oh.
I like how you said the other Sam Bradford instead of the real Sam Bradford. Because no, this is Sam Bradford Jr. the Third. That's who this
Esquire.
This is. Oh.
Oh my God.
That's going up on all the socials. Alright, I need to get it back. Oh
my God.
I can't see.
We're already at like 2 hours.
I know. I can't see. Alright, so week
you
3.
Actually were crying.
Week 3 predictions. Nico.
There's no chance.
Yeah, okay, cool. So let me go over here and make sure I make the announcements. Wow. I'm so glad we found that.
Oh, good Lord.
James, you going Niners?
Yeah, duh.
So starting off the day, Titans Browns. Sneaky matchup. Cleveland's given 3.
Give me the Titans.
Taking the Brownies on this one. I don't trust that Titans defense.
All right. Falcons at Ford Field. Lions.
I don't think Jared Goff loses it again. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I'm yeah. The new streak starts tomorrow. Or
me the Falcons.
You know what I mean. You're gonna go Falcons, all right.
I'm gonna go Falcons. I'm gonna say Bijan runs all over him.
Okay.
Yep, the greatest running back in the NFL.
Yep. Saints Packers. In Lambeau. I don't think the Saints have done enough for me. The weather's not really a factor. I mean, it's 65 degrees. But I don't think the Saints have done enough for me to have the confidence that they're going to walk into Lambeau and win a game.
Yeah.
Or no. So who are you picking, James?
I'll take the Pack.
Okay. So on to the next. Broncos at Dolphins. I'm riding the Dolphins all day.
Dolphins by 30.
Yeah. They're only giving 6.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to jump on that.
Yeah, I'll hammer the over.
I think that's an Dolphins win straight up and take the spread. Over under 48. Dolphins might have 40 themselves. I mean, given the fact that the Broncos and the fucking Commanders was, 68?
8.
So, I mean, take the over. Chargers Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Battle of the 0-2s.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Vikings just because I don't think the Chargers will have an answer, and I think in a close game against a less than stellar defense in San Diego, it equals a victory for
LA.
Kirk. Or yeah, sorry, equals a victory for Kirky.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Homer, so of course.
I didn't go with the Giants.
That's because they're playing the 49ers. It would be stupid. Suicide. What about you, James?
Taking the Vikes. I think they turned it around here.
Play the horn, baby. Patriots at the Jets. Fuck me, man. If this was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be loving to see the Patriots go 0-3, but I don't think they do because the Jets are bad now.
I don't think they do either. The Jets are bad now.
Yep.
Yeah, there's... you know what? Give me the Jets.
Oh, brave.
I think Breece Hall and that defense can
make Mac Jones's life a little miserable.
Yeah.
Bills.
Not that it's already not there.
Bills at Commanders. Commanders experience their first loss unless Josh Allen poops his pants.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills. I'm trying to find my way out of that white suit, but I think the only way to do it slowly but surely.
Texans at Jags. I think this is an easy win for the Jags. Yeah, fucking do.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
We all rode the Jags hard last week, and quite frankly, if it wasn't for a unbelievable performance by Chris Jones, they probably win that game because I could. On just off the top of my head, I can think of like 4 times that Calvin Ridley was just like a half inch out of bounds on passes down the field and in the end zone at the end of the game. And so yeah, Jags by fucking 50.
Yeah, I don't see the Texans being able to stop them.
Around here,
stop it. That really just happened.
It did.
Just love that. Just throw an ad in there. You've been on this fucking page for a while. Colts at the Ravens. As much as I would love the Colts to fucking pull a miracle, it's not happening.
Without Anthony Richardson, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Minshew mania is real. I'm gonna take the Colts on this one.
All right, Lindsay.
So it's looking like Nico wants to be a caddy.
It would hurt Nico a lot more because he'd have to watch.
Nope, that's not right. That's not right.
Oh no, yeah, he'd have to watch us be bad. On top of caddying for us.
That's really the goal at the end of this.
It's just to make fucking Nico watch us play golf.
Oh, and I'm making him give me club recommendations.
I'm making him
and get the wind.
I'm making him hand me beers.
There you
go. Panthers at Seahawks.
Well, if he caddies, that means he's got a DD too, right?
It does, yeah.
Perfect. I like that.
Bryce Young can't even figure out which offensive lineman he's supposed to line up behind, so give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, Gino's gonna keep it moving.
Did you honestly see that clip?
Yes.
James?
What?
Did you see that clip where fucking Bryce Young lined up behind his right guard?
No, I'm honestly not surprised though. Can't see the ball; it's over his head.
I don't even know why this game exists, but
no.
Cowboys at the Cardinals.
No, we skipped one.
We did. Oh yeah, Bears at the Chiefs. Sorry.
Same boat.
That game
same situation.
So we're gonna skip by those.
I guess maybe it's because the Cowboys are on the road, but Kansas City's a bigger favorite against Bears than the Cowboys are against the Cardinals. But yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us are suicidal.
Skip by those. We both know we all know what we're all picking. So.
All right. And then Sunday night is Steelers at the Raiders. I don't even know who Kenny Pickett is, man. And I honestly, after that performance last night, granted they won the game, but I think less of them.
I agree.
So I'm probably gonna go Raiders, especially. Hopefully,
I am too.
Hopefully Jimmy G has some fucking anger in his bones after getting mollywopped in East Orange or whatever the fuck. What is it? What the fuck is it? Orange Park?
Rutherford?
No.
Oh, Orchard Park.
Orchard Park. Yeah, Orchard Park. Fucking Buffalo.
East Orange?
I don't fucking know, dude. I just pulled up. I couldn't think. East Orange. I didn't know. That's. I think it's in New Jersey.
That's East Rutherford.
No, but it's not a place where a stadium is. I think there's a place called East Orange, New Jersey. I don't know where it came from. Maybe a fucking movie. I don't fucking. But anyways, I'm going Raiders. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, Raiders.
East Orange, New Jersey is a place, by the way.
Thank you.
Shout out East Orange.
Shout out East Orange, dude. Fucking one for the podcast, baby. We love you. So the early Monday night game, Eagles at Buccaneers. I don't foresee the Eagles losing to Baker Mayfield as hot as he's been. And I literally have to have the Eagles win this game because if they lose to Tampa, I'm not on the podcast next week. I promise you. Like, I'm not. So. What's your pick?
Yeah, I guess I'll roll with the Eagles.
Not that hard of a pick. The fuck?
I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna go Buccaneers?
I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna pick Tampa Bay in this podcast? All right.
That's why I'm doing it.
It's fine. I'm not even gonna spell their fucking name right.
You should just put fuck Phil fuckheads.
No.
Fuck Phil fuckheads.
Baker Mayfield's right at home in fucking Tampa. Irrelevant. Rams at the Bengals for the late night.
Rams.
Without missing a beat. Rams. I'm gonna go Bengals. Just because I'm gonna treat James the opposite of how he treats me.
And I don't think Joe Burrow's playing.
All right,
no, I said the Rams. Change that.
Oh yeah, you did. You're right. All right, picks are in.
Picks are in.
Cool. I don't know why it's italicized.
I don't know.
All right,
so less when you can be extra.
What did we learn?
I can go first, I guess. I learned that Nico is horrible at watching college football during college football season when we discuss these things.
It's embarrassing, honestly.
It really is, honestly.
You know why he doesn't watch? I have a conspiracy theory, James. You want to hear it?
What's that?
Ever since we yelled at him for eating those M&Ms, I think that he purposefully doesn't watch college football so he can mute his mic and eat M&Ms while we talk college football.
No, I sit here with my mic on.
Okay, then.
We'll see when we put the cameras up.
Okay.
Ooh, it's going to get spicy when we put the cameras up.
I wish we had the cameras up today. I learned that Sam Bradford is a 6'7", 315-pound defensive tackle. Yes, I learned. I also learned that I cannot handle that kind of mistake. Physically, my body can't do it. So those are my two those are my two takeaways today.
Yeah, I'm with Travis. I'm so glad that I found out that Sam Bradford is a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
With two passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
100 yards to his career, you know. What's that 7?
Rush yards.
Oh. But also James is way more passionate about the rankings for college football than I will be about anything in my life.
Yes.
It's not passion at this point. It's just fucking anger. Honestly, it's what it boils down to. It's just anger. Also, I'm going to call an upset this week, and I think I'm going to have to go with Florida State losing to Clemson. In Clemson, I think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to lose. Anybody else got an upset special they want to talk about?
Nico and I both agreed on that, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
we already
talked about it earlier.
Yeah, it's Ohio State falling to Notre Dame.
It's one of those things where I would consider Clemson over Florida State more of an upset special than I would Notre Dame over Ohio State. I mean, a 9 over a 6, yeah, technically it's an upset, but those are upset. But those are both top 10 schools. Man, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be cutthroat. Like, I wouldn't consider that upset special. But like, Clemson's unranked and Florida's number 4. Like, that's getting fucked.
Yeah.
My upset special, even though I just said that being that close in rank isn't a fucking upset, is going to be Ole Miss over Alabama, baby. Fucking go Ole Miss.
Oh, that's a spicy one. I like it.
I think America's rooting for Ole Miss, honestly.
Yeah, every state besides the fucking state of Alabama.
Yep.
Also, shout out Terrell Chavis for making my night.
If you're listening,
295.
Terrell Chavis, we know you're listening. All right, boys.
All right.
Well, it's been fun. Where can you find us?
You can find us on Twitter at shortfatbaldpod. You can find us on Instagram at shortfatbaldpod. You can find us on TikTok and YouTube now at shortfatbaldpod. And you can find us on, if you do the fucking, what are they called? Threads. We're on Threads. Pretty much all social media. We're at shortfatbaldpod. Tell your friends about us. Leave a review. Share us. Answer the polls. Interact. Make suggestions. We're open to it. We even have an email. It's, what is it, James?
shortfatbaldpod@yahoo.com.
There you go. He picked a Yahoo email because he's actually a 57-year-old man. So we have a Yahoo email.
So, good to check out the TikTok where usually the spicy conversation gets posted days before the episodes drop. So you can get your sneak peeks there.
We do previews.
We do.
So leading up to the
you
episodes.
You are actually a child.
Leading up to the episodes, we will post the clips, the hot clips of the day of the episode. Honestly, James's rant might be a 2-parter, but we'll find out. You'll know when this is launched. So, other than that, yeah, guys, you can find us pretty much anywhere on social media at that. Like I said, make sure you review the podcast. Make sure you share the podcast with your friends if you like it. Make sure you send us suggestions if you want to. You can do that on Spotify in the Q&A section that we always leave wide open. Or if you're not on Spotify, you can always email us and make suggestions that way. We are open to any sort of ideas that you guys have for segments, for topics, whatever you want to chat about. The podcast is malleable. So with that being said, gentlemen, I bid you adieu. I hope you enjoy your night. We did get out of here before midnight, and I'm really proud of you.
All right. Love Tampa.
Fuck you.